Today, we're going to walk you through the entire process on how to install an LTW wing on your E36 M3. Let's go.
Not a sponsor, but could be and should be.
He's just trying to market.
We got a whole crew here
Like
today.
paint on them?
Grilled in the shop. We had lunch. We've done many different jobs. 750 frame on the welding table. We got Alec, Steve, Alex, LTW.
Say hi to Steve.
Zip ties are the way you are going to find where you need to drill when you go to install your LTW wing.
Yeah, we're just grinding the tip down. Here's the difference. Make it small.
Yeah.
Just enough so it fits in here.
And we're using, the purpose of the zip ties is to help with the alignment of where we're going to actually mount the wing.
The location. If you want them kind of loose,
Go for a drive.
So see how it fits in there?
That'll be good content.
let's go over to the back and I'll show you what's going on here. So align this sucker. There's 2 tabs here. This kind of area. Most of the time it lines up to this. You know, either it's sometimes it's, you know, one way or the other. Look on the other side, kind of align both of them to your liking, which is, you kind of split the difference here. Pretty good here. Make sure it's in this way. Alex, tape them bad boys down.
This is one of those jobs where you can have just an absolute guessing game, and you end up drilling like 18 holes and nothing will ever work, or you blow through the side of the trunk and you got to get a new trunk, and it's just a nightmare. So this is a DIY, like at home way, getting the alignment you need for the holes where you need to drill on the edges of this trunk. And it's a very thin margin here. We're at the edge of the trunk, so you want to measure twice, go slow, and take your time. But this is a great rule of thumb here. It's very important that you tape these zip ties very sturdy in place. Otherwise, you're going to lose the alignment that you're looking for out of the transfer.
When you take these off, you just have to make sure they'll fold up and they'll come off. So it's not like obviously what you want to do, but kind of just work them.
Here, let me tape that down while you get it.
As long as this stays in place, you know, you're good. So usually just hold you're all right. That's it.
That's the transfer there. There's the transfer there. On each side.
Nice.
So when you go ahead and make your marks, you don't want to kind of wiggle things around too much. So I just kind of hold it close to where it is and sort of eyeball-ish where we're doing this, which is going to be somewhere around here. Make one hole there, and then it's going to go right here. Side, one in the front, and you split the difference.
Boom.
4. Awesome. And then cross your fingers. See how it is? It's half. That's why it walks.
Right. Much better.
We'll end up dremeling this out a little bit. Just enough so we can fit a washer in there and our bolt. And the other one I think is way up here. So this is what we're looking at. I'm going to kind of follow the edge here and go up toward the corner. This is all like that panel bond. So we're going to be grinding away this panel bond so it's flat, but we don't have to go too far, only for the mating surface of the washer. So what we do is cut this out, cutting a little window. So this is small.
Yeah.
And we're going to work our way, this is small, but we're going to work our way up to see what we can fit in there. And if we can't fit the bolt in, Dremel out more and just go from there. But like, start small. This one here, same thing. We're just making clearance so the washer can sit flat, and then we're going to get rid of this panel bond here. Hopefully this is all we have to do. So
I'm happy that we're doing this. One step closer to paint, and got to strip a couple more things down, and then Joe's going to you got to polish it up before you put them on. Harbor Freight in my line.
Okay, so we're at a point now where Giancarlo has, right, his main focus is to not go too much too quick. As we're notching this out, we want to make sure that a wrench can fit in there comfortably, but not too comfortably, but not too tight. So we're trying to find that happy medium. Right now we're just too tight, so we'll show you exactly what we mean by what I just explained.
So I'm going to put the bolt in here. This is the bolt we're going to be using. And how are you now going to grab the thing? You know, it's just not going to...
It's just a little tight.
That's going to take forever. You can't grab it. You know, so you're going to have to cut the hole to the size of your wrench rather than cutting the hole to the size of your bolt.
Or the washer.
Or the washer too, you know. So essentially what's going to happen is this is how it'll be installed. And you're going to kind of snake it over. There it is. But how are you going to tighten it?
Right.
You know, let's just, try to tighten it. This is how you're going to tighten the thing. So let's just open this up a little bit on the on the bottom side so we can turn this a little more, and a little bit on the top.
We must pay homage to them.
That's it, one more cut. So now what we're gonna do is like semi-mimic this in a bigger fashion. We're not gonna cut around, I know I marked it for round, but we're just gonna go up and over all the way to the top of this, get rid of the seam seal, and then just enough to get the wrench in there, and we'll be good. I don't feel we need to like go any higher.
You can see how there's more of a straight line to a round straight.
The wrench goes in there perfectly.
The other way.
I didn't. I was just going to. Dude, he's in.
The reason we cut it the way we did was so we can retain these little plugs.
Not really a frame.
It's like nothing was there. So we're gonna teach you guys a little trick. So we marked the length of the bolt, which is slightly concerning, into the wing. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a nut on top of this bolt. We're gonna chop them to length, and then we're gonna work the nut off of it, and it's gonna put our thread back after we cut it.
While Alex is over here cutting up the proper size bolts we're gonna need to mount the lower, or this piece, to the trunk, we now need to drill out these holes to fit the risers.
So it's gonna sit like this. There's no holes here. These are locators. And then these nuts here are gonna be screwed right in from here. So we drill 2 holes, put everything on, screw it to it. It rhymes. And then that's it. Mount this here, and after that, you're gonna cut 2 more in there, drill 2 holes in there, and then mount the top spoiler to that. So how it'll go is top spoiler, risers, and the bottom, and then you're gonna take everything over and put everything on at once.
And this is kind of the final phase of this whole process, which is assembling the risers, assembling the lower wing and the upper wing, and then effectively everything just kind of bolts into the trunk. So right now, Giancarlo's going through and assembling everything by hand prior to, and then we'll be ready to install the wing officially.
This sucks.
Yeah.
This one sucks.
This whole process kind of sucks, to be honest.
Yeah, a little bit.
But in my opinion, it'll be well worth it in the end with the style. And bolts are too long. Gotta reach home. Like we said, we like to do things 16 times.
This came with hardware.
No, it did not.
It came with hardware.
No.
Should we? Let's call them.
Call him.
We'll call them. It came with hardware. It's been too many months. It's been misplaced. Okay, let's mount her.
I don't know. Good spot for the jacket rod.
He's there. What do you hear?
A washer that's eternally inside of the trunk, and a bolt that Giancarlo dropped. I dropped the washer. He dropped the bolt. What are you gonna do? At least we know when we hear that rattle, we know exactly what it is.
First reveal.
That's 3M tape.
Good luck.
3M tape. What do you mean
that's,
good?
that's a hard thing to stick down. Like I did it on mine, and it eventually comes up. Not bad. It's on, right?
Wow.
We must pay homage to them.